Re- Hello, world. Happy Sunday to not just our subscribers and supporters, but to the whole world, okay? Thank you for tuning in to another live segment with You Will Make It TV, another insightful topic, okay? And without further ado, I'm actually not going to waste any time with the introduction. I think everybody's pretty familiar with who I am now as an audio host and an author and why these type of topics are significant for a lot of us, not just myself, and why I choose. Secondly, we want to encourage guys to hit that subscribe bell. You can like and share any one of our segments too to show your support, but you definitely want to hit the subscribe bell so you're not missing out on future uh, things that we're doing. Another thing that you can benefit from by hitting that subscribe bell is you are for sure to be notified every time we are live, just like this, every time we post a new inspirational quote. We call them video memes, so I could just write the quotes out, but I choose to get on camera and speak them. It's just something about my calling and speaking those words in the universe, and we encourage you too. If we know what bad words can do to an environment, just imagine how much positive words could edify an environment or two. So that's what we encourage here on this channel. Um, I saw a long time ago though. I was kind of just talking about it. I saw a long time ago. Like some relationships in my life did start on the internet. Straight up, I'll use myself for an example first. And I believe the whole catfishing thing is very real. I was just here to say I've never been a catfish. If anything, people felt that my energy was even more explosive in person. You know what I mean? Outside of the internet, or maybe they would tell me things like, "Oh, your videos or photos don't even do you justice. Like you're a way cooler person in person." But that's the thing. At least they were able to differentiate the difference from my internet personality versus who I am in person. I think it's beautiful, but it's worth remembering today because I feel stronger. I feel like an overcomer. If something like that is still going on, like where people say, "Well, I'm gonna come up close to her on the internet so I can see if it really equates to who she is in person." It'll never equate because the internet is the internet, and in person, that's my real life. But I see the difference between the two. Uh, there was this article I was reading, scanning over this morning that inspired this topic today. Because maybe they throw this stuff out here on the news, but people pick and choose what news is relevant and not. But this news was very relevant to me. Like it said that statistics showed that a lot of families were drowning in debt from helping incarcerated loved ones. Uh, Pretty much like one loved one can have 10 years, 5 years, 3 years to uh, you know what I mean, serve. And did we ever sit back and think about like how are they surviving in there? Those phone calls are not free. The socks on their feet behind bars are not free. Pretty much, let me say it like this: everything we pay out here to live and survive. You need a pair of socks, you're gonna walk in a Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Walmart somewhere and get you a pair of socks. Well, in there they don't have as much access to um, stores or vendors, okay, or even small businesses that they can uh, buy from. So what do? They have to depend on loved ones. This is not a new topic. I said it's a relevant topic, especially with the way the economy is. Don't y'all know, no matter what happened with inflation, the great resignation, any of that stuff, this whole time with the economy, nothing ever changed. Like the prices behind the sale walls never changed. I was like, what an interesting article. And I don't think there's a such thing as coincidences. Everything happens just like it's supposed to happen. Like me coming across that article, I like to be knowledgeable about things like that. Because if you think there's special organizations and programs out here, well, there are a few. We're going to talk about that. But it's not like a lot of them that are like, "Oh, hey, you accrued debt through helping somebody in prison. Now let us help you with your mortgage. Let us help you with your car note. Let us, yeah, we'll help you with some daycare. You had to spend money for 10 years for Jack getting locked up. We understand." Let us help you with your car insurance. That's not how, unfortunately, society is just yet. I'm gonna say just yet, cause what if there were some changes? I don't know. They've been fighting for changes for a long time when it comes to prison prices, especially those phone calls. The phone calls might cost you $1 a minute. You see how out here we can just go get a phone. It's either prepaid or postpaid, and you pay the phone bill and it's on for the month. That's not how the phones work in there, okay? Every call is a collect call. Y'all remember the pay phones? I even saw another article recently that there was this man who decided he was an electrician and everything. He decided he would use his gifts as an electrician in his local community to get payphones back started back up. He was pretty much fixing the payphones. I don't know if I'm saying it in the right words. That's what I'm trying to explain. He chose the city didn't ask him, the government didn't ask him. He chose to do this on his own. Like, I'm an electrician. Maybe some more payphones out here should be working because I mean, people should be able to call for help no matter where they are, even if they don't have a cell phone. Because in the 90s, 80s, every other time we had payphones, that's what people were able to do. You put 50 cents, $1 in the quarter machine, and you dial a number. And I think the payphone, you could talk longer on the payphone than you can from a jail phone. Or do I have it all wrong? I believe that's how it was. I think I only use a payphone a couple times in my own life. What about you guys? I wasn't even like grown up when I did grow up in the era when payphones were around. I'm saying I wasn't even old enough back then to just be out here using payphones to call people. But I did experience the house phone era, which the house phone era still exists. You just see more people in business or businesses use those landline phones today. But from jail though, some of them have phones. Y'all know I already did a segment about that. You have to be approved. You have to be not selected, approved, approved, approved. You put in an application and you say, hey, warden, I want to apply for a cell phone during my time. They're going to approve or disapprove. Approve is the word that I use. Now, I don't know why some of them get phone privileges and others don't, but some do. And they get cell phones. This ain't like the old days where people like, how did they sneak those cell phones in there? Y'all have to catch up. They're not sneaking those in there no more. They're getting approved. They have their own phone companies that they work with that's already been approved with the prisons. And if you are approved, you get a phone. It ain't like they get to come bring you a cell phone to visitation. That's not how that works. That's still considered contraband, I guess. They have their own programs that help to provide you with the cell phone program while you're locked up. Oh, also you have to be approved with to be on one of the inmates calling lists. Okay? So if you're adding yourself to their calling list because you're a loved one and you love that person and you just want to keep in contact with them, the country, I guess, has always understood that. Some people talk once a week. Some people talk all day long. Either way, you're going to have to pay for it. That's what we're here to talk about today real quick. Because I didn't know a lot of grocery stores. Y'all think the grocery stores are just for us out here. Some of the grocery stores have already got contracts with the prisons. Where do y'all think they get the pickles and noodles and stuff from? The commissary stores. Where did y'all think they come from? I could just imagine how much money is circulating through that sector because we complain about food prices out here. We do. The free people. You know, we complain about the milk, the eggs. They don't even get milk and eggs in there. They might get milk. You can buy some milk on commissary, but most people in jail, they drink the milk that comes with the meals. Like, come on, bro. The next time you guys want to complain about how terrible your life is, how much you're struggling, somebody needed to hear this today. But me, I remind myself of this every day. You're never doing, first of all, there's always somebody doing worse. They don't even have the limbs, the capabilities, the abilities of their limbs to make something happen for themselves if they want to. You know why? Because they were either born disabled or something happened to their limbs along the way. So now they can't do what they need to do, even if they want to go earn $5 and get a Burger King Whopper. You see what I mean? And you damn sure can't get a Whopper and behind bars. I was explaining to the kiddos the other day that sometimes the guards would come in with food and they were like, "Mommy, do you think they were doing that on purpose?" I said, "No, they didn't think nothing of it. You know, they got to have lunch break and eat their lunch too. That's your job when you work in there." But I don't know. They're not just finna eat a ham sandwich so you can feel better because they're a guard. You see, they're gonna go get them some Taco Bell, Burger King, Chicken Express, and you're gonna smell them eating it while you're in there. I said the goal of that must be so that you can never want to come back and you can eat all the fast food you want once you're back a free civilian, you know? I noticed that too, though. The chat went from, I'm sorry, the viewers went from 20 to 0, but I'm going to start calling it out on every stream because maybe it's necessary, you know, because if I see it, I know other people see it. And as embarrassing as I could be that this happens to my channel every time I go live, I don't have time for embarrassing. There's messages that need to be put out here. There's souls that need to be saved. Minds and mentalities that could be shaped into a positive, more positive direction, okay? So we're not going to focus on that right now, but I will start calling that out. What would you call them in sports? The stats, okay? In sports, if the stats are manipulated, it's an easy win for the other team. You can't do that. But I just stay quiet. Like, that's like just coming in and taking 20 points off somebody's board. And everybody saw them put them 20 points up there. You see? But we're going to let the show go on. But me, I've been going through that for a whole year now. So it's unheard of. You know what I mean? Like, where are the refs? YouTube needs some refs. Forget the moderators and stuff. We need whole referees to blow the whistle on this stuff. I'll volunteer to be one of them. If I go to somebody's channel and I see people stealing points off somebody's scoreboard, that would be a very huge violation if I had some type of power in it, but I don't quite yet. You see? I don't. But we don't need moderators. Moderators are cool too, but we need whole referees around this joint because people treating it like a game. In sports, people wouldn't take the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. They wouldn't even take it serious if they wouldn't. The reason people take sport competition serious is because they know that the teams earn their points. Before you earn the points, you're somewhere training, you're somewhere practicing, you're somewhere preparing yourself for that win. You feel me? You know you're a winner though when they just have to take the points off the board. Like, we don't take that serious, but we do take looking at that is happening serious for anybody. But we appreciate you guys' support. Anyhow, I promise to God I can't make this up. When I first went live, it had like 27 viewers on here. Because maybe people want to hear this topic. But guess what? Me just throwing the title out there, me leading people, kind of like a Hansel and Gretel story, where they kind of left the breadcrumbs as a trail so they can find their way back home. Just like that. We just going to keep leaving the breadcrumbs. Y'all can go do your own research. But you tell me, why is it that families are drowning in debt? Not only that, who wouldn't want people to hear this? It's already was on the news, so stopping me from talking about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share the article on my post feed today. I am, right after I go live. It's a whole news article about how families have been drowning in debt, trying to care for and take care of people that's incarcerated. They just want people to keep falling in a trap and go to jail. Like, buddy, that don't just affect the people in jail. It affects the people that love them, who want to at least see them get out alive. You know they only got a certain year sentence, so you be trying to support them and help them till they get out. And only positive candidates to talk about this subject is Maybe those who have had loved ones incarcerated before, they can tell you, when they teach us about budgeting and banking and investing, it's real funny uh, putting up money for a rainy day in case somebody gets incarcerated is never on the top 10 of budgeting rules. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what financial guru you go talk to, financial advisor, why aren't they advising people to have, the way the world is today, you need to have a whole savings just for anybody that they'll go apply for life insurance before they put up a savings in case somebody go to jail. All of it is just twisted because they feel like at least maybe with life insurance and different insurance policies, they get some type of return. They get something out of their money. It's stupid. But this is my opinion. Oh yeah, everything I share on the stream today, like I said, I'm piggybacking off of an article I read. But it's just my reaction, commentary, and views about this topic. I'm watching so much at the same time. That's crazy. You know. Anyways, prison is a place where you don't have privacy as it is. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do make phone calls to people, those are being monitored. You feel me? But still, that's what you sign up for when you pay your money. I'm not out here trying to encourage people to not help their loved ones when they're incarcerated, but just know this. Statistics already show that it's affecting families greatly. Grandmothers, mothers, I don't want to just say women, fathers, uncles, all these people that are expected. And guess what? You know what they say? If you don't help them in there, they say you didn't care about them. But they must haven't read this article yet. Families are drowning in debt from family members they helped take care of 5-10 years ago. They never caught up with the mortgage payments. They never caught up with their student loan payments. They never caught up with their car insurance payments because they prioritized somebody that was incarcerated. It's the truth about it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We love you. Thank you for your support. Um, I just think it's topic worthy, because they'll say people need to go to work and all that. People need to go to work and they need to have a real job. I just can speak for myself though. No matter how I was ever getting money out here, I used to be known for that. Like, baby, I'm gonna take some money back and give back to society some kind of way. I knew something different was going on in my life, even in the past 5 years when I couldn't like heavily do that, have that heavily influence like I had once did. And I feel like I noticed when it started. There's something called appeals when you don't agree with something. And literally, when you read contracts, most of them will tell you there's an appeal process. You have a right to some type of appeal process when you feel like you've been treated unfairly, you know what I'm saying, within an organization, group, or whatever it is. So my question is, why do they put this out there? Like, yeah, you can file for an appeal if you don't agree with something and then retaliate when you do. It's weird. Because what they call an appeal, no matter what kind of appeal it is, in court or with housing or with some type of affair with your children, it doesn't matter. You have the right to appeal. Appeal is like, hey, I want a second, third, fourth, fifth onlooker onto this situation. That never means that, yeah, in a way, it does mean that you're challenging something. But it also means like it's not promising you some type of win. An appeal is just that. You have to start the process. And that's where a lot of people have been noticing more retaliative behaviors against their life. Because with me, I don't think it was just filing appeals in my earlier days. It was also filing those appeals, somebody able to look over what happened, and you also winning those appeal cases. And then all of a sudden, all kind of madness in my life. I can't make this up. As if some organization or business got mad because And we know organizations and businesses have money because they be like, no, it ain't us. The days of throwing rocks and hiding hands with as advanced as technology is today, I would just say it's dead. But people still trying to do that. A old tactic in a new day. You know what I'm saying? They call it throwing rocks and hiding your hands. But how can you do that in the age of technology today? We're gonna see every stone and where it's coming from. You know, you can't put that people have a right to an appeal in the process and then say, well, we didn't turn a blind eye to what somebody going through after the appeal process. And what I'm referring to is from years ago, like 7+ years, y'all. So, anyways, I was just trying to make a little sense of it, or I've been thinking about it more. Like, a lot of us, they think when we walk with God, that's true. He gives you a new life. He gives you a new identity in Christ. But I don't think enough pastors and preachers talk about how just because you have a new life in Christ doesn't mean something from your past ain't lingering around somewhere mad because you have a new life in Christ. Anyways, when I heard more of them preach about it, then I'll shut up about it. Preach about that. Uh, People, even Moses himself, he had a whole group, a whole army, a whole nation of people come after him as he walked into the promised land. So I'm always referred to Moses. Shout out to that one program, Women Call Moses as well. I just always thought that was a beautiful name. So there are organizations out there that have been helping people that you can contribute to, even prison ministries. Did y'all know that? I don't know if people stay away from it because they feel like, oh, that's too religious. But they'll go donate to anything else. They'll just go donate to somebody so somebody else don't look as relevant. But instead of just like firsthand sending money directly to inmates, there are programs that you can donate to, and they go actually in person. They go in person, not only to speak and do ministry work, but that's them where the inmates have an opportunity to maybe get in these programs, whether it's for education, a trade or a skill, maybe legal programs, because a lot of them, see, they have like caseworkers. Jails, they have caseworkers. You can have a caseworker. You usually meet them somewhere alone during your time. I think what a lot of inmates do, they decline the offer. A caseworker is just what their title sounds like. Their job is to help you work your case, not do all the work. No, 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 no. The point of a caseworker is not for them to do all the work. They are helping you work your case. And then the point of the person with the caseworker is not to get comfortable thinking that it's the caseworker job to do everything. But a person is really, really, really trying to change their life. See, they look at it as bottom feeder help or something. Let them look at it. But we'll see what they think when none of this stuff is here no more. Because a lot of this stuff, the funding is being cut as we speak. Programs that have been here for years. And some people, the caseworkers in jail. Oh yeah, I forgot what I was saying. It's just topic worthy on so many levels. Uh, I'm so sick of it. People have almost shunned people out of proper help, I guess, so they can lead them to doing other terrible things, which just keeps the system going. You just keep people coming in and out of prison like that when you want them to deny certain help, but take offers and bribes in other spots and be like, oh, it's okay, we'll have your back. If that's not corruption, bro. But we got to thank God for divine order and judgment as well, because maybe Maybe we did need a little help down here on earth. You can't have, that's not balanced to have more corruption than organization, than, and the only thing that could lead to something like that is pride, Pride. That's the only thing that could lead to something like that. Like, you now have a society of more corruption than in every other country that went through this. It didn't go well. I don't know. I saw another article, I'll save that for another topic, about how they could possibly be, what's that word? Discussing that, the new way of punishment could be some type of, I don't know. I'm going to have to say that topic for another day. But I know I've seen like witchcraft and spells in it. That's like telling somebody, okay, you've been found guilty. You get 10 years of hungry spells. You get 5 years of mental torment. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. But this is what happens. This is when we see when judgment is left in the hands of man. And we don't take up our affairs and sins and mistakes with God first. And then when you have to be judged by man before God, just know this. One prophet said, I'd rather be left in the hands of a terrible God than to be left in the hands of man. Anybody who knows that scripture verbatim, feel free to type it out in the chat. But I think that's a powerful statement. Whatever that man had been through, he said, I'd rather be left in the hands of a terrible God. Because, when God is angry, he's nothing to play with. When God is angry, he's nothing to play with. But this prophet said, I'd rather be left in the hands of a terrible, angry God than to be left in the hands of the judgment of mankind. Mankind don't know no limits. They gonna stone you to the end. They want you to feel exactly what somebody else felt. There's no grace and mercy a little bit. I wish I could look that scripture up for y'all real quick, but I don't have my other device, but that's okay. Okay, let me get it for you.
Here you go.
What is that?
Here you go now.
Oh. And then, look how far the devil will go to try to make his influence look more powerful than God's. It's stupid. It's not a game I would want to play. Here, boo-boo. Here. People would say, no, God didn't tell you to do this and that or to go this and that direction, because it would challenge what they've been teaching people. Trust me, the more unpopular road, I'ma always believe somebody that God told them to take it. Why would his instructions look like man's instructions? Why would his judgment look like man's judgment? Why would his law look like man's law? Then he wouldn't be the God that he is. You see? And then they want to be that so bad, like the power hungry ones that enforce and give out all the judgment. But when God lays down judgment, it's we want to blaspheme God. Like, no. Nobody can do that better than him. Like, make somebody feel exactly every inch in detail of what they made another person feel. Nobody can do that better than God. I put my whole trust in it. For real. Right now at this moment. I could feel like, yeah, I can execute this. I got a whole plan to make a person feel like how they made me feel. But I can't even do that better than God. And I'm one of the smart cookies of the world. Like, if I really wanted to execute something like that. Some people was trying to say, I was doing something. I said, why all my enemies, at this time in my life, they seem to have been doing better than me. What you mean? I did something to them. They were all living very promising lives, executing plans on a timely schedule. Their kids were doing well. But as soon as they start going through a little struggle, people who claim to be attached to me at one point in my life and know me and stuff like that, I was supposed to be the one to blame. And I thought it was funny because it's like, we have whole proof that this woman went through her own struggles and battles too in life. So what are y'all talking about? She went through them in secret. She went through them around people. You know, God said he never leave himself without a witness. That's another thing. It seems like the way court is set up, you know, there's just older texts, older historical texts of how heavenly judgment worked. And this is nothing but an imitation, to be honest with people. Like, you know, it's like the highest order because it came from a whole nother place. And how they once executed judgment, you know. You can look at the prosecutor as the devil. You can look at the lawyer as Jesus Christ. You can look at the judge as God if you have to. But this is kind of how it is with divine judgment. People are so quick. Everybody want to teach on divine judgment all of a sudden. Everybody want to teach on spiritual court. I do feel like we should normalize the topic a little more. That's why you had people that literally didn't make it to jail. They didn't make it to court. Why do y'all think stuff like that happens? Some people it's because they just skip court. They just choose not to go. But some people, I believe, they never make it to court and jail or make it out of jail because divine judgment interceded. Period. Your judgment wasn't just in the hands of the judge. God had felt a way about whatever it was too. But I was saying it's funny how they have the whole death penalty. They have, you can get 25 to life. They got so many different sentences out there, and yet so many human beings have stood up to this place of what they call judges. Like, who are y'all? They ain't got a law degree nowhere in their house. And some of the ones that do, they just feel challenged, you know what I'm saying? People already been saying the internet is undefeated. Well, wouldn't you think that legal systems also had to get familiar with the internet? You see how many crimes done took place on it just in the past 10 years that revolved around the internet. Some of this stuff, they looked at it, and when it came to trying to solve a case, and the whole time, the beef started somewhere on the internet. Or the inconsistency started somewhere on the internet. And I know they was appalled when they first started saying it, like committing crimes on camera phones. What they call on video live, you know what I mean? So we gotta kind of have some patience and understanding with the justice system a little bit too, if you ask me, because when did we even have the internet before? Even a lot of what they do now in the courtroom, there's technology in the courtroom. You still have your bailiffs and everybody that's supposed to do their job, but you have technology in the courtrooms too. So to me, that's why these changes are coming. Every time somebody breaches security, you got to make a tighter security. You know what I'm saying? You got to make tighter rules. You got to make tighter judgments. Like that. But I thought it was so saddening to read. It was saddening to read that families have been out here suffering from debt, from prison charges. And that's just the charges. Imagine those that actually like contribute to visitations. You know, they have to drive. They probably need room and boarding. What's it called? Room and boarding. Like lodging for when they get to the destination. Then they gotta eat there. So there's gas and everything just for one visitation. Just imagine. It was funny how you know how they was like, they're gonna ban snacks off of the EBT, or they already started doing it in some states, but they're not gonna ban snacks in the prisons. They're not. I don't see that. I don't see that. Actually, I haven't even heard about it yet, because they don't plan on doing it. The honey buns, chips, pickles and stuff we eat out here, it's more of a luxury to people in there, because You actually don't have it unless you have cash funds. It's been like that in penitentiaries and jails. It's been like that. Like, you can't buy food with EBT in there. Or do y'all think that's something that they should approve? Let me hear you guys' thoughts. Leave it in the comment section or the chat section. Do you think it's just a you guys, our listeners, do y'all think because at this point, EBT probably won't even be here for much longer. They even, in some states, they've already made it a requirement that you work at least 80 hours a month just to get food stamps. So people was being funny saying, well, if we work 80 hours a month, we don't need food stamps. I mean, it's so crazy. But maybe that applies to those that could have been working 80 hours a month the whole time and they just chose not to. People talking about we're abusing food stamps. How you abusing food stamps? Did y'all know that in depending on what state you're in, that's another thing. We all know it take a child 18 years to become an adult, maybe 17, maybe 16. And you don't get approved for 18 years. I haven't heard of it yet. Like somebody been on food stamps persistently, year after year after year, all 18 years of their kid's life. So that's just a false narrative to have people believing that it's even a small group of people out here just living off food. Abusing them, maybe. But just living off of them, nobody's doing it because you don't even get food stamps for 18 years. That's crazy. They give it to you for a certain, I think the max in some states is like 60 months, which is equated to 5 years. That means you can be on it a year, get off of it for 3 months, get off of it for 6 months, however you break it down, but it can't supersede 5 years. You see what I'm saying? That's how that works. For those that didn't know, you should check it. Most states have a web page for their government EBT benefits where you can actually read this information. They don't expect people to go read it. For example, they have this thing called Tom TANF. And what it is, you have caseworkers that try to be more of the enforcer of who deserves what, even at the time of application. You literally have to tell these people your whole life and why you ended up in the position you're in. Maybe it's because you're disabled. Maybe it's because you have a disabled child. Maybe it's because you're a divorcee. Whatever it is, they do require it. We're not going to sit here and play like it's fine if you want to cut the stuff off years later. That's fine. But let's talk about the days it was here and how people were required to give every detail of their life. Their phone number, their address, their social security number. This ain't even for a loan. This ain't even for a job. It's just for assistance, right? And they give up all that information. And with some of these people, that's why I don't be playing with them. You're not finna get all my personal information just to tell me, oh, you're denied. At this point, I stop applying for job applications too, because like even in that job application, you're giving a lot of information about yourself. How else do they get to know you? And this is before interview level. This before you done even had an interview. Before you, if they don't know who wants to interview or what candidates to choose from without the applications. I know I sound crazy right now, but let me make my point make sense. People give up so much of themselves just to become an applicant of some of these resources that they quote unquote, or we're supposed to be shivering in our boots because they're cutting them off. And it's actually a burden lifted for some people. You answering the questions as they are listed on the application should be all they need. But yet, ask anybody that's ever had food stamps. You have to do a research appointment every 3, 6, 9 months, whatever it is for you in your state. And they're going to ask you questions, personal questions on the phone too, even though you filled out the application. They just ask, but is your rent still this much? Do you still stay right here? You know, because if there are any updates, they have to adjust your benefits according to the changes in your quote unquote household. Like that. I'm just telling people, don't get too sad and depressed about some of this stuff that's getting cut off. Because, like, why couldn't people ever buy commissary with EBT? Like, your mom or grandma or auntie or uncle or somebody who got EBT at home while you're locked up, why can't they order you stuff off the commissary store? Now that we're finding out commissary stores have with some of these grocery stores. A grocery store is not going to ask your identity or who you are when you come in for a bag of apples and grapes. Eat, baby. Yeah, that's not what they do. Mama's going to go get your blanket. You just come in the store. You're surrounded by strangers. And all of y'all are there for the same purpose, which is to pretty much get some groceries. You know. But in jail, it's just a little deeper. That's what I don't understand about people in there too. I think the corruption is way deeper than we thought. Y'all remember the story recently out of Louisiana about those inmates that escaped? It's like, look how quick, since other distractions have been out here, people not even talking about that no more. That was a big deal. That just happened a couple months ago. 11 inmates escaped. 10, 11 of them. Yeah, they got them all back in there. That's the update for those that didn't follow that story. They ended up apprehending every one of those guys and re-arresting them, by the way. I think more so we've been seeing more stories, not just about the corruption, but about the, what's that other word? The conditions. At one point, even R. Kelly was asking to be transferred somewhere else, right? Probably not just released. He was asking to be released, but I remember him asking to be transferred. I think P. Diddy too. Like, what are the conditions behind her? Not that I'm trying to defend them. You see how people try to spin it like, oh, she must be defending inmates and criminals. We shouldn't care. Maybe you don't care because you don't have an incarcerated loved one yet, but it's a very real topic we should all think about. Is some people get locked up sometimes over traffic tickets. I mean, you know, a criminal is a criminal. You see the ones that had to do a week or two behind traffic tickets, they want to play like they're better than others. You still committed a crime already. Even if you pay the ticket off, it can be looked up if you ever went through it before. You serving time for some traffic tickets versus somebody serving time for what you think are more heightened crime. To God, I was just reminding everybody, a crime is a crime. You disobey the laws of the land. You disobey the laws of spiritual judgment. There is no, well, I only did this much. Look what they did. It matters sometimes, it do. But I was just saying, like, in the hands of man, just about no crime goes unpunishable. Whether you feel like the person got the punishment they could have got. And then maybe that's how God using it too. Like, did you really think you finna sit back and punish somebody and then try to enforce their next punishment? How long have you been the quote unquote punisher? We can look at some of the things we go through, if you ask me, and kind of tell who the punisher is, depending on how severe they have you going through what you're going through. And then even in a court of law, you at least know why you're getting sentenced, what you're being sentenced. You at least know why you're getting how much time and where you're going to be locked up at. You're going to understand everything before you leave that courtroom. But out here, they just want people to feel like, why is all this happening to me? No, when I paid closer attention to some of the things that was going on in my life, I said, these seem like some, I hate to be funny, these seem like some very militant people. Which only in return made me a little more militant. If you ask me, it made me a little more disciplined. Now, discipline versus applied discipline, like a person just ready to put their gold on and show you, I am finna apply my discipline today. I am finna apply my knowledge today. It'll show. Because, like, they would be moving way different. Somebody that's actually applying that knowledge. Why would they still look like they have no knowledge? They're applying it now. Somebody that has been surviving militant disciplines, it's gonna show. Like, dang, that person seemed to move a little different, talk a little different, look at life different. It's gonna show what kind of scrutiny they've been under. Even people, when they come out of prison, y'all, don't you know that they look different to people? And we don't mean physically. Like, you can tell they've been in isolation for a while. You almost have to re-show them the changes in society, what everybody's doing now. You got to catch them up with what's been going on. You know why? Because it shows that they need that. I guess everybody like to be the one in somebody's face when they get out, so they can catch them up with all the street drama. I'm just sick of this. Oh my God. Like, if you're going to be a support system for somebody when they get out, by all means do that. I will never say I don't support that. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those who want to actually have more to help people, especially women, when they get out of prison. That's just something I don't have to prove that to nobody, but I do have proof where I've tried to start it too. And met people that's already kind of in something, but they have their own ways of doing things, maybe like boarding houses and halfway houses that they have started to help people. Okay, so I know it's very possible. I just haven't decided yet. Do I want to be more helping them out here, or do I want to do the footwork and actually be stepping off into the prisons? But anyways, people say they want to do this kind of work. I'm okay now. I'm not complaining no more. I'm like, God, more people do need to copy me, because we would have a better world. So I ain't gonna say nothing else about that. Be a copycat, be my shadow if you gotta be, but make sure you are applying that knowledge where I have taught you guys to do it. This is, if you got just too many greedy people running around trying to be like somebody just for the greedy benefits, to me that's gonna show. Because when it comes to the things that I dreamed of doing, it was never just about money or a look or some respect that I'm going to get with it. As a matter of fact, with some of the nonprofits activities I'm going to be doing, people won't even know about it. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, it won't be a grand news. It might be. But I wouldn't be doing it for that reason. Like, oh, Crown Publishing content, you will make it TV, help 5,000 prisoners this year. That wouldn't be why I'm doing it, so I can get that respect. I feel me starting something like that already shows me that I feel respected. What you mean? And sometimes maybe the areas of respect that you're looking for it in, that's always been something I saw with me. Like, it'd be a whole nother genre of people that you didn't even know exists. I hate to put it in genre to say it like that, but like a whole nother community that you were once unfamiliar with. Maybe like the incarcerated, maybe like the hospitalized, maybe like the mental health impaired, maybe like the disabled community. The disabled community loves me, and I love them back. The homeless community loves me, and I love them back. The impoverished communities, they love me, and I love them back. But you always have a bad bunch in any group you name. Just because a person is disabled don't mean they into crime. They not into crime. I was finna give y'all an example, but I don't really have to go there. But there are real people out here like have certain disabilities, but they still choose to run the streets. Whether it's a mental health disability, or they're like, there's many disabled people in the hood right now. Maybe because they feel stuck there. Maybe because some of them are comfortable there. I'm just saying that community is not off limits, but we never said we love people's imperfections at You Will Make It TV. We love people despite their imperfections. We do our best. And you can tell somebody that's full of the devil, like, just, I'm going to push it away. I'm going to see how some people, they need that. They have to be as imperfect as possible for you to prove your love to them. You see what I'm saying? Like, why put your family in a burden of debt of having to take care of you from behind bars? I'm sure that's not a part of the process that criminals think about. We all know that. I'm saying we can't normalize it, because just saying you don't care about the burden of debt Most of them just say, "Oh, I'll pay you back when I get to working, when I get out. I'll pay you $200 a month for all of this that you contributed to me." But if people were really doing that, the statistics wouldn't show that families are in debt. Come on, bro. So what are these people doing? Getting out, getting on their feet. That's what they're showing. That's what they're showing. They get out, get on their feet, and just say screw everybody who, not only who didn't help me, but the ones that did. You forget all about them because you done got out, did a little time, got on your feet, and it's just forget them. And that's okay. But I would say putting myself in those shoes, that's just like creating more shadows for yourself. A person who really helped you out of a place of love, they wouldn't be worried about what you give them back anyway. They just sitting back. They have no choice but just to kind of sit back and study who you are. Since you've regained freedom, since you, boom. Like, we looking at a person, character, personality, and all of that. Y'all be honest, when a person gets out of jail. That's what I was saying. Like, you can tell a person that has survived isolation for long periods of time versus somebody who's used to having support, like 100% support in their life, no matter what they do. But I'm saying, why? So the people that supporting you, clearly they love you, but why do you have to do so much to challenge their love for you? You can tell the ones that do that on purpose and the ones that, like I said, it's like God is there because they don't have to call you for nothing. You could say, well, I know that person struggling. That person it's like a power struggle. They don't have to call you for nothing. All you can do is keep trying to force them to. I was saying, if you love the people that's supporting you so much, though, why continue to put them in positions where they would be burdened to offer you credit and debit from behind jail cell walls because you just got a 5-year sentence? That's 5 years of commissary. That's 5 years of you need t-shirts, shoes, socks, and underwear. That's 5 years of somebody else having to feed your kids now. That's 5 years. I mean, I can go on and on. That's 5 years of that person needing toilet paper in the penitentiary. That's 5 years of that person needing shampoo, conditioner. And I mean, the prices of this stuff behind cell walls are way more expensive than out here. For those that didn't know, do your own research and you can see, you can probably see how much their items cost versus they don't have no Dollar Tree behind bars. I'm back, y'all. I had a slight pause break. Actually, after I record this, like I promised y'all, I'm going to share the article that shows more insight and maybe statistics about what I was referring to in this segment. I take the time out a lot to go back and listen to these. I never share that vulnerable side of myself as a speaker to you guys, but that is something that I do. Even some of my older ones from 3, 4 years ago, I make sure to go back because I told myself there cannot be a bigger fan than me. I'm humble, but I also understand that like that's a reason I can be humble too. Like, how can you spend time worried about who's your fan or not when you're busy being your own biggest fan? Like, that's why I'm gonna make another announcement real quick. Going towards the closing of this stream, I don't think I'm gonna make it right now, but just know we have a YouTube channel competition coming up. As far as the word masters of the globe who might want to, this would not be my first attempt at some type of word master challenge, whether it's a poetry contest or some type of writing contest for children, summer reading programs. It's just there is history of me trying to launch stuff like this before. But going into the latter end of 2025, that is something that we have more of so that subscribers can participate if they would like to. And like I said, I title them Word Master Challenges because it could be a spelling bee. I feel like a spelling bee for adults would be very, very right, but who thinks of that? You know what I mean? And we have our judges and we have our prize awards. I didn't say it was going to be a spelling bee, but there's a gem for you guys. You heard it at You Will Make It TV first, from your very own audio host, Sherry Whitney. Crown Publishing Content is the name of the channel. I think y'all can stay tuned. I am just going to go ahead and get another Crown Publishing Content channel at this point. And I'm just going to share my very same videos. Everybody can tell it's me because it's me. Thank God I have a very peculiar and different face, body, which I speak and everything. Like, I thank God for this sometimes because with the internet, people can just easily go plagiarize your page or information. I be so laid back about it. People think I don't care. I do care. It's very unfortunate that people can contribute very hard work as far as their business, literally, like not just a hobby or nothing, like their whole business this, and somebody can just go make a spam page of them. That's crazy. But I'm laid back about it because I'm also watching society catch up with everybody being on the same page when it comes to the knowledge of how the internet can be abused as well. I'm actually very proud to see that. But yeah, so stay tuned. Why did I bring up the Word Master Challenge again? Because I have these type of things coming up in the near future. You will be able to see the notifications, the postings, the flyers, and everything, the links where you can become a participant. I'll have all that set up for you guys. This next Word Master Challenge, I can tell y'all it is entry fee. And we're going to have an age range for this competition because I don't feel like kids should be judged in the same arena with adults or something like that. But we might have Word Master children out there too, or we got some Word Master adults. So it seems like in the past people liked it. The contest idea I had going on, y'all, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like people, I didn't expect that, but people were kind of doing entries. They were entering from different countries. Like maybe that's what pissed people off about me. But when you were born to actually unify people in that way, even if it's through a competition, a stage show, you would see on American Idol, there is not just one race of people on there. You see? Or Shark Tank. What's another show? Jeopardy. You never just seen one race. I don't care what kind of TV competition show it is. And so we're not going to play that game with the affairs of content either. I'm the original founder here. You know what I mean? And I can say us and for our brand. This was never just for black people or for Hispanics or for, no. Anybody who wants to participate in our entrepreneur interviews, for example, or our podcast interviews or our Word Master challenges, or that's something I'm going to put out there too. I just didn't want to say it till I was ready. But as far as the publishing services, a lot of people probably wonder, am I still into that? Am I still doing it? Not only am I still into it, it's been a slight pause and relaunch in my self-owned business because I did have a baby recently. What do y'all mean? That's a whole legit reason, not just to start your business back up, but to get back in business just as fluent as you were before she came. So it wasn't just like the 2 years she been here, the 9 months I was pregnant even. I began to just slow down with all of my content affairs and business like that. But I'll go ahead and extend that invitation now. Soulworkimages11@gmail.com. That's how you can contact me, but I will have a more formal way for you guys to get back into offering publishing services. And ain't no way, somebody actually told me that ain't no way you can do all that by yourself. But they don't really understand the power of order and divine order either, because we all only get 24 hours in a day. But as long as you manage it wisely, you can do a lot by yourself. I'm finna show people firsthand. Why y'all think they throw so many distractions at me? They know this is true. I get a whole lot done by myself and for others when I positively use my 24-hour, like literally playing every hour, every minute on the clock. I have experience already, not just working for myself, but working for other companies as well. I think since I'm comfortable just doing these audios right here, y'all see how I'm not showing my face or nothing, I'm just doing audio. Since I'm comfortable with that, I figured I'm finna go back over to iHeartRadio, just like some more. I use it for an example, but I will be sharing those links too. Just extending even more reasons why you guys want to subscribe so you're not missing this work as we step back into it. It'd be one thing to say as we step into it, but as we step back into it. I actually enjoyed helping authors, self-published authors, to share their work. I enjoyed interviewing them because to me, it takes a certain mind to sit there and stay persistent with putting a series of thoughts together just to portray one main message. And that's what I consider an author. You feel me? A screenplay writer, all of that. It takes a certain level of mind. If you're going to study me, you would have to study every author. You see what I'm saying? If you're going to study me, you would have to study every ghost writer, every film writer, every songwriter, and just ultimately admit that we want to know what kind of mind capability have to be able to focus on one project and not only actually focus on that project, complete that project, promote that project in a way that actually attracts audiences from all walks of life and make money off that project. That's what they really want to know. It's like they picked one out the bunch and just said, well, we'll study her. That's stupid. You might as well study every author. I already knew it. That's why I had started doing books and business podcasts, interviewing them, right? Because I said, well, I know, what all came with my life, and I know how long I used to like to write. I know that teachers saw me going further with it or something in my life, but it's not all about my life. So you showed that you were unselfish the day you started doing promos for other businesses and authors. You showed that you are an unselfish person. People, back to this conversation about commissary and families going into debt for helping people behind bars, they will try to make you feel like that too. Like, oh, 1 week you don't have it, you have to be lying. Or you telling them, hey, honey, I don't have it this week, I got to pay the rent. Or, hey, I don't have it next week, I got a car note. And if a person immediately get mad or just want to say they don't believe you or they feel like you shortchanging them. Now, I'm not talking about out here in the free world. I'm talking about when somebody is incarcerated. Like, I kind of always, I would have a mind to have mercy on them. Like, hey, you cannot judge me for what I don't have while you are whole in jail. What I don't have to contribute to you. That's already not fair. You'll be surprised the kind of animosity reasons that people have animosity against you, like maybe for you even having this thought of training a mind about it, like They just feel like you should contribute for the rest of your life because they feel like that's all you're worthy of, giving to them. And you have to remind them, hey, you in jail though. I wouldn't even be in this kind of debt and having to contribute to you this way had you not did whatever you did. But see, a criminal's mind, in the act of them doing a crime, they're not thinking about that. I think it's sad. They're not thinking about the emotional grief that comes with losing somebody that's incarcerated as well. You just want the family to be strong because you tell them, hold on, mama, cousin, sister, brother, everything gonna be all right. You know me, I get in and out of here. And the family has just held on to words like that for too long. Like, okay, because a large percentage does always end up going back. It's really sad. These are facts. These are statistics. Statistically proven. Everybody done went to jail and went before. Even me. I've been a few times. It wasn't prison. So, they be like, you tell too much of your business. No, I'm proud to say what I've overcome at any given time. Y'all thought it was just a person telling. You got to get to know Arthur's better than that. You really do. Maybe they're proud to talk about what they overcome. You just look at it as them talking. That's how I know it's something I've truly overcome. It's the way you talk about it freely. And people actually desire that. I wish I could talk about my mistakes there freely. I wish I could, you know what I'm saying? Not feel bad about myself in certain areas about things I've done. Don't envy it. Just get with the program. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to let anybody in this world hold you to a sin that you know that you've taken to God. And once you've made that point to people, just let them sit back and watch from there. It's going to show where God has forgiven a person and not where God has mercy and favor on the person's life, because they know 1,000+ people want them to suffer. God already be knowing that about some people's life. But that would make him a liar if he tells somebody, come to me and you no longer have to suffer, right? It's done said that in the Bible before some of these people was born. I don't know. I know they wish I would have chose any other God to surrender to, because then maybe more what I speak about would make sense to people. Everything ain't supposed to make sense. It's just, when it's the truth, it's just the truth. It don't have to make sense to you. If the truth don't make sense to you, you ask for a deeper clarification. Because if it's the truth, what else needs to be clarified? You can, with the truth, all you can do is research that deeper. You can't switch it up. You can't change it. So if God told people you don't have to suffer no more when you walk with me, and you got 1,000 people still want that person to suffer, why would you think God doesn't see that? Because that is you trying to twist his word on that person. And God is not a witch. God is not a liar. If anything, he hates a liar. You know what I mean? He didn't sit here and tell people, hey, come to me, all that are heavy laden burden, and I will give you rest. For you to come up behind God's word and take somebody's rest. I don't think that would be trying to make his word a lie. You see how that's blasphemy? You know, it's Sunday. I didn't even mean to come preach or nothing, but it really is. That's like me saying, hey, I love flowers, but somebody wants me chopping down flowers, talking negatively about flowers. Like, oh, no. A better example is somebody wants to see flowers hate you because you said you love flowers, just to make what you said not true. And it's doing it. That's why some of them are, because they felt like they are the master manipulator of some words. You see, you can use something like word. Why don't you use word manipulation for something positive? They call it reverse psychology, but they don't talk about how reverse psychology can be used to induce a positive influence or a new positive insight on somebody's life. 1 second, guys. I'm finna turn this AC off for a second. It's got freezing cold in here. Anyways, what when it comes to anemia and iron and all of that, I'm all too familiar with it since like a little kid. But now that I'm an adult and I can like have more of a choice on what I do about it, um, I like to take, what are those things called? Sea moss. Some people drink it or eat it. I take them as it's something I've been trying. You can look it up too. It might be very, very good with people, for people with low iron deficiency issues, okay? But I believe God is a healer too. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we don't actually have to suffer with anything we don't want to. And it shows that it's some people out here don't want people to know that. Like, maybe the things of the natural earth really is all we need. Like, everything we need is already here. It's in the ocean, it's in the mountains, it's in the forest somewhere. You'll notice in some of the fairy tale Disney movies, to heal somebody, they had to go find a certain plant. I think even on the Lorax, even on Troll. I'm back, y'all. I might be back. I think I'm gonna do a few streams today on several different insightful topics. Out of all I said today, though, I just feel like more people should consider that. Of course, if I'm talking to people, I'm always talking to myself first. That's actually why you fight powerfully to keep your life from going a certain way too, because you know how that would affect. And people know too, like it would affect any family the same way, bro. No family is exempt. The thing about you know what I'm saying, having to go serve time. I didn't even speak on the other side of it, how some people actually end up getting locked up, but you know, they had money before they went in there. Kind of like P. Diddy situation or something. I think sometimes the reason they prolong the court proceedings is because, like, every time there's a hearing, that costs money. Every time they got to go back. I don't know. I just know those court proceedings, lawyers, all that costs money. But some people, they come into the situation with money. Well, you might ask, well, how would they fall in the statistics of families that end up in debt from them getting locked up? You know, everybody's story ain't Gucci Man and Keisha Kayor's story. Okay, she's supposed to be the woman known for actually reinvesting his money in a way where they had more money when he got out. That's the Gucci Man them story. Everybody's story ain't like that. You see what I'm saying? That's why they be like, she deserves all this praise. But she would also be a very powerful advocate if she wanted to be, getting out here telling people. I ain't gonna say teaching them the game. I mean, because that's not bad either, to take what somebody had left in savings and you know what I'm saying, restack it. What's that word? Replenish it. She's known for this. She reinvested and they like, oh, what a perfect love story. They're still together. It's just a few things that I've been noticing about that. You know what I mean? So you okay for sitting back getting praise for what you did for your man? Cause any celebrity that something is talked about, they don't have to respond. But if I was her, yeah, I'll respond. I would do more speaking engagements actually for women. Cause if what you did is supposed to be so we followed in your footsteps, why are our men going to prison to begin with? Why are they even putting us in that situation? I feel like that's fake to just want honor and praise that you, because she was who helped somebody while they was incarcerated, even if her man was Gucci Man. You were one of those that helped contribute to somebody incarcerated like the rest of us. You're just known to have taken his money, bigger money with it, and yeah, okay, y'all still together. He's still taking care of you, whatever. That is a good example. They just be saying the part where she flipped the money is the good example. No, how about the good example is that they're even still together. A lot of these men don't stay with their woman just because she was there for him and down for him and ride and die for him because he was in jail. But women always do this. They'll look at another woman like, oh, well, he wouldn't do me like that. That's how it always starts, ladies. But then the statistics are what they are, so somebody lying. Any woman can get done. However, not every man stay with you. Y'all know they got a show now, not Prison Wives. Do they have one called Prison Wives? That's not the one I'm talking about though. It's a show where they date. They date them. All of them on that show is with somebody that's in jail. All of them on there. And some of them get out and get with the girl or the man, because some people meet a man in jail. Don't y'all know that's how some people met their spouses? In jail. They started as pen pals. So that's kind of like that's the only internet catfish risk you could take back then. We didn't have the internet yet, but some of them meet a man in jail through somebody else. They had a cousin locked up. Let me give y'all an example. And they support their cousin all the time, but their cousin met a homeboy in jail who he wants to hook up with you. A real cousin would not want his cousin with an inmate. That's my opinion. He should be trying to get out of there, get him a better woman, and tell his cousin, stay away from any man like these men I'm in here with. So y'all might say, how she say she want to start a prison man? It's just things I understand about what they go through behind her. And how people keep trying to mix it with society. Well, oh, well, you like this up. I'ma still talk to my family. Yeah, but the news is telling on y'all too. These families is in debt from, let's be honest, putting all this money on people's books, paying for all these phone calls. Bro, people ain't gonna be able to afford that too much longer. They already cutting food stamps off. I'm telling people right now. How we supposed to send you some money and they cutting off food stamps? The only thing that's free is for you to write, and they still got to pay for the paper and the envelopes. They make them pay for everything taxed in there. I just wonder, since they talking about how much change for us out here with taxes and tariffs and programs being defunded, well, what's gonna change in there? Y'all just gonna keep the prices the same for their high food they got to pay for? Now we're gonna have a problem, because if the people out here ain't got no money, that's probably already the problem. We do see more scams and stuff going on. We're seeing it because that never stopped, y'all. Even during the pandemic, people were getting arrested. People were in prison. Before the pandemic, after the pandemic, and now things are changing. See, programs are being cut, all kind of stuff. How you gonna have 20 extra spare dollars for Jack in jail? Or he gonna have to stretch that $20 for a whole month. One pickle is $5. I'm not making this up. A can of chili for them in there. You know how we can go get a 12-pack of noodles. One pack of noodles, they want them to pay $3. I was just saying, where they get the money from? Now, y'all know some of them have jobs. They have jobs they can work in there. I just feel like, why they saying we got all this debt? Like, what's up with, since Trump being in there, everybody debt getting brought up? But he wants to put a hold on some of his cases. It's like, what do you owe? Who took you to court? What do you owe? Like, what went wrong in some of your businesses? We know Trump got a lot of businesses. Like, okay, because everybody else, that's I've been saying I'm gonna come do this. I'll do this topic right after this one. In this is about how credit companies. Okay, this is the companies y'all debt gets sent to when you let the debt stack up. Okay, these credit collectors are going to start suing people. There have already been media news articles talking about this. They're actually probably going to have the legal right to sue people. They always had the legal right, but they're not playing about that. They need their money too. So how are they going to be doing this? They said through wage garnishments, tax refund garnishments, however they got to get it. A lot of people out here they talking about people trying to show a fake life on social media. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Trump has already put it into perspective. Most people are doing that then. If they have hidden debt from 10 and 15 years ago, we don't know about. We were not the citizens, the people. We were not the one out here worried about anybody's debt. See, the government rose up recently and said, we want to get in people's business. We want to see their debt. Remember them saying many people's credit got pulled, many people's backgrounds got pulled lately, or certain companies were hacked, phone companies. And why do y'all think that was? They are finna find out who owe their phone bills, who owe houses. I bet they know everybody's business at this point. And it's probably quite comical to higher leaders. How many are really out here flexing, trying to make other people look stupid on the internet, but they still owe student loans from a college they went to 10 years ago. They even have a job now. They been got out of college. They got a job, but that's what Trump is exposing. People ain't out here paying their debt like y'all think. It's going to come out when these people start garnishing wages too. Everybody bragging, oh, I got a job. So Trump went a little higher. I feel like I understand his mind in some ways. Yeah, Trump, they out here bragging about hustling, side hustling, and having jobs and trying to step on other people. But how y'all got all this money, but you ain't paid this debt, that debt? They even trying to be in a race. How you gonna steal from somebody to pay your own debt? Your own one debt might be $10,000 from a car you had back in 2005. I don't know. It's just weird. So I'm not going to fall into the illusion of that either. The internet is just the internet. Talking about, you can't believe nothing on the internet. When did this trend start? Because before there was social media, you could believe what's on the internet. You go to a website, MSN, AOL or somewhere. You see the news. You see the sports news. Anything you want to see. So I was wondering, when did the internet become a place you couldn't trust? Well, when you had all kind of untrustworthy people join it. Don't blame that on everybody. Talking about none of y'all showing y'all real lives. Look who are these demons? Who told y'all we got to show our real life on the internet? The celebrities don't even do that. They show you what they want you to see. What you mean? Somebody got to come and clear this up, because this has gotten out of control. And then this shows why they don't want to show all their life. Like, look what y'all do with it. Krishan showed her baby a little bit, and look, she got all kind of issues because people got so much to say. You feel me? The generation I come from, we like social media and sharing pictures and videos because we love ourselves. And we're just that obsessed with ourselves. Like, look at these pictures. It started when we were young. Everybody, look at how many teens on social media right now. So we just enjoyed that. And our friends being able to share memories with us and hit the like button and the heart button when we say something. People just be hitting that like and heart button for nothing now. Now it's all for clout. You know what I'm saying? They made the internet really stupid, bro. It's like when you go look at some of our old likes and hearts, you're going to see who we're supposed to be friends with who. Because it will show you the profile that hearts. On Instagram, I think it do that. It's going to show who hearted it. Come on now. On IG and Facebook, I don't know about Twitter. but it shows who literally hearted it and liked it. That's where people can't lie no more. How you gonna give some people for some clout a long time ago, but now you don't heart nothing? That shows for itself. I ain't gonna call you and ask why. Like, oh, why you don't be liking my content? Because I don't want to turn my life into that. My life being based off how many likes and hearts I got yesterday. Even when I was posting pictures and videos like that, memories of my life, it didn't like a person more or less because they liked or didn't like something that I said, that I did, or that I posted. You see what I'm saying? If anything, people would have to call. In my lane, I've always been. I mean, they can point out my mistakes, but for the most part, I've always been in my own lane. You know, you in your own lane when somebody got to call you about what was posted about you. Now stuff making sense though, because I would ask myself like, how do you know, or how did you see it? They claimed they was just scrolling and saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I was just scrolling and I saw a female talking about you. I was just scrolling. Oh, girl, I know that girl. She went to an old school I went to. So you just happened to know her. You happened to scroll across something she said. You happened to call me to tell me what she said. That's how messy the internet is. If I didn't see it myself, I'm glad people did that. Don't call me about what you seen about me on the internet. Please don't disrupt my peace in that way. If God wanted me to see it, they would have either posted where I can see it, or I would have scrolled past it by now. If you see some hidden dirt on me on the internet, leave it right over there. Leave it right over there, because you know you can almost look like you were a part of it. Because why you calling me to tell me what somebody said on the internet? How many of y'all been out there doing it though? And it's been real internet beef that led to people not hurt right now. They said it's real bad in Chicago. Some of these YNs be live in a location, and then somebody will just ride through because they can see their background. Ride through and hit them up. I'm going to say it like that. They know what they mean in the streets. Now you got a whole investigation going on in the hood, and everybody testing everybody loyalty about who gonna tell. I'm sick of this because this article said families are literally in debt. What are they in more debt of? The people that's dying in the families, or the people that's going to jail in the families? Why it just gotta be death and dishonor? But we still looking for loyalty. Ain't nobody finna be loyal to that, bro. Death and dishonor? Come on, bro. When there's honor in life, you can actually be living. I say, even if we were doing something positive and everybody came together and was doing something positive, they would still send the police after all of us. It's always a group of Karens that don't like to see that. Literally, like, I kind of do see why people are the way they are. Because even if they were out here trying to do the right thing, like that young man whose window got busted in by a police officer the other day just to get yanked out of his car, who was minding his business. Some people do be out here trying to do the right thing. And as a young black man, we still send positive thoughts and prayers. Y'all tune in to previously recorded live segments. I already talked about this. My reaction to it as a young black woman. He didn't have kids in the car or nothing, thank God, but some of them have been known to do that. They will humiliate you right there in front of your family. Then charge us an arm and a leg so they can get some socks and chili and noodles and cakes in jail, bro. You know, you got to work extra hours to take care of somebody in jail, or you got to do something. They might say, I really, 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 really need this week. I have none left. Whether it's women's jail or men's jail. Women, I already done teach that here at You Will Make It TV. Women cost more. While men want to make jokes talking about we gold digger, I don't know what they been saying, but let me tell them this. Women cost more. It costs more if we sit down and break it down today and write this on paper. The things a woman need, not even what she want yet, like just being a woman, costs more than a man. That's why I feel like women commissary stores should be cheaper. If it ain't already, their stuff should be cheaper, a little more lenient, even though they're criminals too and they in jail. they cannot help how much it costs to be a woman. You're gonna need sanitary products. You need conditioner. Guess what? If you don't have conditioner and shampoo, you're gonna end up with lice one day. And that's unsanitary because everywhere a person with lice sleeps, the other people in the house got it. They go for jail too. Bed bugs, all of it. So women need certain things so that they don't have these things going on with them. And people know that. If you put a woman in a broke position, she starts to kind of rot a little faster because it's just more that a woman needs on a more frequent basis than a man. And I don't even think it's because women are trying to be girly girls or it's just what it costs to be a woman. It costs. You can almost say to be the boss. They say if the happy wife is a happy life, or if the mom is not balanced. Me and one of my kids was having a conversation about it yesterday. And she said, well, Mom, I don't feel like you're balanced. I said, trust me, things would be way, way more off balance if I wasn't balanced right now. Like, if I didn't mean balance, but if the mom is not in a healthy place, like you can just tell a happy woman in a home. Everybody else in their home is comfortable. They happy. They eating. The home is taken care of. Everything is cleaned up. It's as tidy as it could be. You could tell that mom is pretty much in a good place. She's happy with her life. She wants to move on and keep making things happen for her family. But a woman that is just being constantly tormented, constantly abused, constantly, you're going to be able to tell. And the kids, you can't blame them. Anybody that see somebody going through that, they rather choose the side that's doing it than to choose, well, I'm going to join the one that's getting bullied. They don't want to go through that either. So out of fear, they choose the bully side. That's usually how it goes. You know, so really, if the woman is being treated right, fairly, and equally to begin with, then you don't have to worry about everybody else being off balance in the family. They have always said this. A happy wife is a happy life. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment where you will make it TV, where we share inspirational messages, inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly. Hit that subscribe bell. You don't want to miss some of our upcoming Word Master competitions. That's still a grand reveal. I won't say exactly what we're doing yet, but yeah, I am into all of that. Like, why can't we do adult spelling bees and stuff like this and give out prize cash awards? Because we're Word Masters over here. Okay? If you want to be a part of it, make sure you hit that subscribe bell. Once again, when I do start this off, it will be $1 entry. We will have 3 grand prize winners from each category for kids and the adults. Okay, and you guys, it would just simply look like you guys signing up through a link to be an applicant, and then you would just submit, and you can do this as anonymous or use your username with your submissions. But we will be picking 3 winners. Because we want to hear some of you guys' master inspirational quotes. Some of you guys is see how talented. We're just calling them out now. Everybody's such word masters. If I start this spelling bee over here for the adults, y'all better be over here too when we go live and we start the competition. Because everybody is so smart. But at the same time, we are trying to edify our communities in this way. Why not have a yearly spelling bee like this for adults? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'll do it closer to Christmas. Who knows? But stay tuned. I'll be right back to talk about that topic, because creditors are beginning to sue people, garnish wages, and all kind of other monies you might have when they feel like you owe debt to their credit collection companies. It's topic worthy. Thank you guys, and until next time.